In the winter of 1923, the serene wilderness near Bend, Oregon, became the backdrop for a chilling mystery that has perplexed investigators and haunted the community for over a century: the infamous Lava Lake murders. This unsolved case not only shattered the tranquility of the region, but also serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath even the most idyllic surfaces. Edward Nickols, aged 50, Roy Wilson, 35, and Dewey Morris, 25, were three fur trappers from Bend who sought the isolation of the Deschutes National Forest to ply their trade during the harsh winter months. They established their camp in a remote cabin near Little Lava Lake, a secluded spot that promised abundant wildlife and the solitude necessary for their work. The last known sighting of the trio was on January 15, 1924, when a fellow trapper, Alan Wilcoxon, visited them. Wilcoxon later recounted that the men were in high spirits and spoke of a successful season ahead. Little did he know, this would be the last time anyone would see them alive. As winter tightened its grip, communication with the outside world became sporadic, and it wasn't until April that concern grew over the trappers' prolonged silence. A search party ventured into the snow-covered wilderness, arriving at the cabin to find an eerie scene. The table was set for a meal. Pots of food had been left to burn on the stove, and there were no signs of a struggle inside. However, the men's sled was missing, and the fox pen behind the cabin stood empty, save for a blood-stained hammer lying ominously in the corner. These unsettling discoveries hinted at a sudden and violent interruption to their daily routine. The search extended to the frozen expanse of Little Lava Lake, where a depression in the ice suggested that a hole had been cut and subsequently refrozen. Nearby, in the thawing snow, searchers found pools of blood, clumps of hair, and a human tooth, a grim breadcrumb trail leading to the lake. As the ice began to melt, the dark waters reluctantly revealed their secrets. The bodies of Nickols, Wilson, and Morris surfaced, each bearing the brutal marks of gunshot wounds and blunt force trauma. The savagery of the murders sent shockwaves through the tight-knit community, shattering their sense of safety and leaving them grappling with the horror that had invaded their peaceful enclave. Investigators faced a daunting task: piecing together scant evidence in the remote wilderness. The brutality of the murders suggested a personal vendetta or a violent confrontation, but the isolated location and lack of witnesses made the trail frustratingly cold. Suspicion initially fell upon a woodsman and known moonshiner named Indian Erickson, who operated a camp near Cultus Lake. However, Erickson provided a solid alibi, and the investigation shifted focus. Attention then turned to Charles Kimsey, a man with a checkered past, including charges of robbery and attempted murder in Bend. Kimsey had a known dispute with Nickols over a stolen wallet and had allegedly threatened him. Further complicating matters, a traffic officer in Portland recalled encountering Kimsey on January 24, 1924, when he inquired about selling furs, a suspicious activity given the timeline of the trapper's disappearance. Despite these leads, the evidence remained circumstantial, and no charges were filed against Kimsey for the murders. The case gradually faded from the headlines, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions and a community haunted by the specter of unresolved violence. The psychological impact of the Lava Lake murders on the residents of Bend and the surrounding areas was profound. The realization that such a horrific act could occur in their secluded paradise instilled a deep-seated fear and mistrust. The wilderness, once a source of livelihood and solace, became tinged with an undercurrent of dread. Families locked their doors a little tighter, and the once friendly woods seemed to harbor unseen threats. This collective trauma underscores the human tendency to seek patterns and explanations in the face of chaos, a desperate attempt to reclaim a sense of control and understanding in a world that had suddenly become unpredictable and dangerous. Decades have passed, but the echoes of that winter continue to resonate. The Lava Lake murders remain one of Oregon's oldest unsolved cases, a chilling reminder of justice unserved and lives unjustly taken. The story has inspired numerous articles, books, and even local lore, each attempting to unravel the mystery and perhaps, in some way, bring peace to the restless spirits of Nickols, Wilson, and Morris. The case serves as a somber testament to the fragility of life and the enduring quest for truth in the face of darkness. If this story has captivated you, we invite you to explore our Real Cases playlist, where we delve into other mysteries that have left an indelible mark on communities. By engaging with these stories, we honor the memories of those lost and contribute to a collective effort to seek truth and justice. Your attention and awareness can make a difference. In remembering Edward Nickols, Roy Wilson, and Dewey Morris, we acknowledge not only the tragedy of their untimely deaths, but also the enduring impact they have had on the pursuit of justice and the importance of never relinquishing hope, no matter how cold the case may seem. Their story continues to echo, a somber reminder and a beacon urging us toward a more vigilant and compassionate society.